What hidden secrets and useful techniques can we learn from Darren Korb's soundtrack of Hades? Let's take a look at On the Coast and discuss with you 5 helpful tips that you can start applying today in creating music. Darren in this song, On the Coast, is not afraid to use certain techniques to evoke the Middle Eastern or Egyptian sound. One of the main elements in this tune is the use of the harmonic minor scale. For example, here in the English one, you can hear it in the melody line. This specific scale is used heavily in many other scores to depict the Middle East, and it's no secret that using the right scale is crucial to place the listener in a certain region of the world. Another factor is Darren's selection of instruments. Wind chimes are definitely a big indicator, even by themselves. Also, the trilling technique used between the English horn, the flute, and the clarinet in section 3 is used a lot in Middle Eastern music. Finally, a somewhat modern approach to scoring for the Middle East is a bed of strings. We've seen this in scores such as Assassin's Creed or Prince of Persia. In On the Coast, Darren utilizes both sustained strings and tremolo strings to give nice support for the rest of the instruments. The hero's journey in music often describes how music should take the listener on a journey, conveying the total arc from beginning to end. This is a more cinematic approach to songwriting that often accompanies a film who's using the hero's journey approach in their own story. But here in Hades, Darren conveys this technique by constantly either building upon the previous section or shifting to a new, surprising section. When you listen to a piece like this, take note of the fact that there is little in the way of repeating previous sections. While he might take a few ideas from past sections, the majority of the instruments constantly create new parts. Starting with section 2 and onwards, Darren makes full use of modulations in his chords. In this case, he switches between C and C sharp, a half step apart. This sort of modulation works because the notes are very close together, yet the small modulation brings new life to the music because that C sharp is usually very dissonant against the C. I should warn against using modulations too much, as it can often break the flow of the melody if not composed correctly. Frequent modulations can prevent a tonal center if we're moving too much. Fortunately for Darren, he has an excellent ear for music and used modulations effectively in this tune. For solo instruments specifically, I want to talk about the solo strings, such as violins and cellos. In On the Coast, Darren Korb highlights the solo violin amidst the more ensemble strings in section 3. As opposed to just using the ensemble strings by themselves, adding the solo violin gives a certain character to the whole line, as well as making it sound more expressive. Same with the double bass and the solo cello. In the song, Darren keeps them doing separate functions, with the solo cello playing the melody, and the ensemble cellos and the double bass doing the pizzicato. It's no secret that solo instruments, when they play the lead melody, can be much more animated and connect with the listener better. The last secret is how Darren creates a magical atmosphere. This is different than the Middle Eastern atmosphere we discussed before, but each approach uses similar elements. When we say the word magical, what comes to mind? Mysterious, evocative, uplifting, emotional? Darren taps into each of these aspects. It's not just about using instruments such as wind chimes or the tremolo strings, but how he creates a seemingly large space for the listener to imagine themselves in. For example, in section 3, the large string lines, covering a massive amount of space, contribute to a feeling of adventure and excitement. Tremolo strings are often used heavily in creating a magical feeling as well. The English horn, flute, and clarinet are also doubled together. Anytime doubling is used, it means that the composer is trying to create a more epic sound. The combination of all three together further lifts this piece of music up. Finally, well-timed peaks using transitional instruments such as cymbal slides, timpani rolls, and wind chimes can further enhance the magical atmosphere of a piece. I had the great pleasure of chatting with Darren Korb about his soundtrack for Hades. If you want to learn from the man himself, watch my interview with Darren in the description below. Please consider helping this channel by supporting on Patreon. Your support can make the difference and help impact many more people who watch these videos. I thank all my current Patreons for their kind generosity. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next episode of Music Design.